Something inside me has always been there, but now it's awake. And I need help.
She is trying to find her place. She is trying to find her home and her family. And those questions go with the light side and the dark side. The questions she's asking aren't specifically geared towards the light side. It's questions in general. Why do people become the way they do? Where does this thing come from, the force, whatever it is that she has? So those are questions that are asked in general. So there may be questions that apply to the light side or the dark side that she's learning. But ultimately, I feel like she's going to do the right thing.
Something inside me is awake. And I need help.
Adam said something really interesting when we were doing interviews for The Force Awakens. He said it's not the difference between good and bad, it's people think they're right. Kylo Ren thinks he's doing anything particularly wrong. Ultimately, people on both sides die, people on both sides sacrifice themselves for the struggle, and usually it's one person that's sort of leading them down any one route, and there's comfort in that, because it's easy to follow someone when they think they're right. That's why so many people follow awful people, because their convictions are so strong. It's easier, like it's so much easier. And in this film, as we've seen in the trailer, Luke says, you know, it's time for the Jedi Order to end. The conviction seems to have gone, at least in that moment, from Luke's. It's just easier to go dark side.
All right. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
I wouldn't say either one was more fun. I had an incredible time on both. The first one will always be my first film, but both of them offered solace. Like the first time around, I couldn't tell anyone what I was doing, so people at work became my family. And the second time around, I'd worked with a lot of...
Didn't tell anybody?
No, for a few months, nobody knew. Yeah. Yeah, my family knew, and then everyone else found out 3 months later. It was a terrible time. And also, I was getting really strong, so everyone was like, wow, you look ripped. And I was like, yeah. But both times, like, everyone at the studio at Pinewood offered, like, a sense of comfort and family. And it's just easy. Like, it's easy to go to work. Everyone knew what we were doing. It's not, like, hidden in secrets. And so it's just a wonderful environment.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
It's like watching yourself on a big screen like that for the first time is really overwhelming. And then it had been a while since we filmed, so I couldn't entirely remember everything we did, so I was just like, ah! And I really thought I did an awful job. And then it got a bit easier because I had to watch it a number of times because we were doing all of the press stuff for it. But there were still moments I was like, oi! Like when the lightsaber flies. Yeah. I was like, awesome. And it was nice seeing it with people, like in a cinema, in a room full of people who really love it. And also like my family there, knowing that my family like, oh, this is what you've been doing for 6 months.
That's the reason you're not so brave.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Oh, Yoda. I love, even though the prequels are the questionable ones with fans, his fighting in that is hilariously awesome. And he just imparts so much wisdom. And we're all seeking wisdom all the time. So him.
Fulfill your destiny.